Alright guys, so let's talk about Lover's Lane, which I just bought the Arrow video release for. This artwork is really awesome. I'm really loving that artwork. This also comes with the original artwork, which is not as good, and it looks like Scream, Ghostface, and that's not the case in the movie. But Lover's Lane is a 1999 American slasher. Um, and like I said, this is my first watch. I never saw this one before. I heard of this movie because I like to look up slashers that I've never seen. I love finding new slashers to watch, whether I'll like them or not. And I heard this also through Anna Faris, who is in this movie, and it is her first performance ever. So that's really cool. It's her film debut. The plot of this is 13 years ago on Valentine's Day, a killer kills a couple people and it leaves a child named Mandy motherless. And 13 years later, the killer escapes the mental asylum and starts killing again, connecting to the town. This one, I'm going to say a lot of similarities. This one reminds me a lot of My Bloody Valentine in name alone, because it is a Valentine's horror movie. It is not Valentine's-y in the way that My Bloody Valentine is. With My Bloody Valentine, they at least had all the different Valentine stuff, like having the town have called Valentine Bluffs and having Valentine decor everywhere. This movie really isn't that. It's just related to Valentine's Day, but it's not the same. It's not as extravagant, which I wish it could have done better in this one. Um, this also is similar to I Know What You Did Last Summer because of the hook hand killer. Um, it's just got a literal hook, just like I Know What You Did Last Summer, and that came out 2 years before this in 1997. And also Blood Rage, because the opening scene was very similar, where it's a couple doing stuff at the beginning in a car, and they get slaughtered. It's not exactly the same, but I wanted to point out those three movies were very, very much homaged in this one. Um, the issue with this one for me is that it's not that good. Unfortunately, I liked things about it. I think that it works in a couple instances. There are a couple funny moments, but mostly it's really subjected to a lot of fake outs. There's a scene with someone getting stabbed and there's blood ketchup. There's a killer in the bathroom, but then you realize it isn't the killer. Or there's a cat jump scare, which I love cats, so it's cool to see that. But it's not that interesting. And also, it would be more interesting if it was more gory. The gore is mostly almost always off screen, which is a big bummer, especially for me, because I love watching slashers with great practical effects. And I can watch slashers that don't have that much gore if the story's interesting, but this one was not that interesting. Um, it is very low budget. The audio kind of differentiates throughout, where like some sound is really loud and some sound is not. And I think that Arrow Video probably didn't change any sound effects to keep it like what it was for the actual movie created, but man, I wish it would have kind of like mixed it a little better, did the audio mixing, because there's scenes where characters are talking pretty quiet and you can't hear them that well, and then a minute later there's a rock song playing and it's like relatively more loud than you would think it was with the other scenes. Um, and it just sounds amplified in some scenes, and some scenes it's quiet. So it definitely is very low budget with that. It's low budget without not much gore at all. There's also a fake punch noise where somebody goes psh, and it's just fake noise. You can hear in every movie. Um, I also have some random things that I thought were hilarious in the movie. I thought it was funny that gas was $1.39, which I don't talk about real life stuff really, but that was funny seeing now how gas is like really or getting lower, but it was expensive. Where I live at least. There is a line from a character. This is the most memorable line from the movie. Now, I will remember this for a slasher. In case you haven't noticed, I am the nicest piece of ass in town, is what one girl says before she makes out with a guy. I thought that was a good line because it's just memorable. The best kill, the kills are not really gory, but the best kill is honestly Anna Faris. Slight spoilers. She gets a hook through her vagina, and that's how she goes. And I thought that was kind of fun, but you don't see it, of course. It's not like every other scene. It's really not gory at all. Um, There's also a funny scene where the killer breaks out, and on the wall when they find the killer's room, on the wall and written in blood, it says the food sucks here, which I thought was so random, but it made me remember it because it was just so random and weird out there. Um, and then there's one where before Anna Faris gets killed, on the wall and written in blood it says "Die, bitch," and I thought that was funny, and it kind of reminded me because Anna Faris was in Scary Movie one year after this, which launched more of her career, because she's great in Scary Movie. It's just funny to see that line because it reminded me of something they would say in Scary Movie. And Anna Faris's character Janelle, is kind of similar. Like, she's not exactly the same as how she plays Cindy in Scary Movie 1, but it kind of feels like there's like some similarities just in the way that Anna Faris acts in the movie. It's weird. It's hard to describe. But if you watch this movie and then watch Scary Movie, I feel like you could see some similarities to the acting. um, it's odd. But like I said, this one overall is just really not that interesting. It sucks that it's not very fun because I spent $25 on the Blu-ray, but I mean, I collect these. I love to collect slashers, so I mean, it's not like I'm upset, and I will listen to the audio commentary. That's one of the reasons why I buy slashers too, as well. That I, even if I don't like them that much, I do want to watch the special features and the behind the scenes, even though this one is so incredibly low budget, which is fine, you know. And I try not to get too mad at movies like this because they are what they are. And this movie was definitely a low budget slasher, but I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed parts of it. You know, I don't know why I said I enjoy it. I kind of just went off there randomly, but you know, I thought it was fun for a couple moments. So yeah, that's it. All I could say about Lover's Lane. I'm kind of not making sense now. And I've got a couple more videos coming up, so I'll see you guys later. Take care.